Hello, good afternoon. This is Stephanie White, and haven't been on here in a while. I've been writing, which is what I like to do. Some of you don't know me, so let me tell you who I am. An author of four published books on Amazon. First one is Vengeance. Vengeance deals with Jocelyn and Thorn, and she is a forensic uh, pathologist with and which means she does autopsies. Okay. And her husband, Cameron Thorne, is the mayor of their city, and they have four kids. Okay. Everything will be fine except for Cameron. He's attracted. Women can't stay away from him, and he can't stay away from them. Okay. So the book opens up with him telling his wife the address and that he has something important to tell her. He invites his family over and her family. So they're all sitting down to dinner with their kids when he brings in his girlfriend. Okay? And it goes chaotic from that point, as you can imagine. That's the beginning of Vengeance, and it is on Amazon. Check it out. I mean, the whole book is just action filled. There is nothing. You would think that rich people would be sedate. They're not. Our next book is Jen's Heart, and Jen is Jennifer Mallory. Is a daughter of a ambassador. She's traveled all her life with her father in different countries. She's a former ballerina. At 26, she quit. She started when she was like 14. And by the time she got 19, she was discriminated by other um, people because of the darkness of her skin. And since I'm black and I'm dark skinned, that's why I wrote about it because we need to deal with what people think about her. But she turned that into something positive. She went into sculpturing. Okay, so she makes beautiful sculptures. And she wants to have somebody display them so she could have a debut show. So she goes to this gallery and talked to this lady, and not her, but she talked to her secretary, and they made an appointment for her to come back to meet the owner. Well, when she came back, it wasn't the owner that greeted her. It was her grandson, who was Dana Delaney. Okay, very attractive. Um, he takes her in and he conducts the interview for her. He says what's going to happen and stuff, and they schedule her debut, and she has someone that she dates, but she kind of wishes he would go away. Those kind of men, and but Dana is very protective of her during that thing. He puts his arm around her while he walks her around the room and show people her sculptures and stuff. And so that point's on. Jen Hart is a love story, but it also has domestic violence in it. Okay, so just so you know, I guess I should put a warning on it. The next one is very secret, and my character left home in Florida when she was 16, and then she moved to South Carolina. And at 18, she moved to California, and that's where she met her husband. As the story opens up, they are a co-pastors of a huge church in California. They have adult children. They have two sons and a daughter, and they live a very fortunate life. I mean, the church is prosperous. They started out small in a small church. That she went out looking for the church, and this white guy, white pastor, asked her, "Was she looking for church?" And she said, "Yeah." Well, he said, "Look, why don't you move in here?" So they took that first church, and it had, they had a living quarters there, so they could live there, and he could pastor, and she worked. So they built up their membership and grew out of that church. And they moved further out. So they had church, school, and all of this, what you do when you expand. And her life is good. So she's like, oh, okay. So she figured that her past was in the past. But the past is never in the past, okay? It's always there. So she did that, and it catches up with her. In Okeechobee, a body was found. Well, not a body, it was a skeleton. And that skeleton is leading the police to her. So I want you to read Buried Secrets. It's so good. I mean, characters are good, and it's action filled because you want to find out what happened, drama, usual stuff. And that also has domestic violence in it. Uh, my last book that's published is called It's Complicated. That one has my character in there. She is a administrator for City of St. Pete. Okay, she has a son and is in college, and she played around on the computer. She was in a group, and this guy took her in a DM, and they started talking, and they met. So he wanted to see her. He didn't just want to see her on the screen, and so they made plans, and she flew to Philadelphia for a group meeting. Okay, the group was having people fly in from all over, and it was a meet and greet. And when they saw each other, it was like instant. I mean, they couldn't get away from each other. So Friday night, they did not uh, interact with the group. And she flew in with one of her girlfriends who did not reserve a room but found somewhere else to stay. Thank goodness. And she reserved the room and he paid for it. So they spent that whole weekend together. And but they couldn't fly. She couldn't fly home until Monday night. And he went back to work. He was in the military, so he said. Uh, After that point, they were flying in different cities, not with the group. I mean, just them two, just fly in and have, spend the weekends or a week or whatever time. And he told her that he was gonna, ask her mother could he marry her. So she was excited, and something happened, and he disappeared, and she never saw him again. His phone number was disconnected. He was no longer on social media. So there she was. She had nobody there. Okay. So then she went to um, and she met a guy, and they started dating, and they got married. She was happy, and she went to the class reunion, their 20th class reunion, and guess who was there? So the story takes off after that point. So you're gonna love it. I mean, it's just action filled. I liked it. I like the characters, and I think you will too. Now I'm working on motivation for murder. I'm sorry, with Alfonso Blake. Uh, he is a tall, dark piece of hunk that works for Atlanta Major Crimes, which handles several different types of crime, but mostly they do murder, okay, and large scale jury thefts and other stuff. But basically, they do murder. He's been there now for like 11, 12 years. He has that. He's married. He has 2 kids. Okay, and he lives. His wife is biracial, and they live in an exclusive area. They do not live in Atlanta. Nobody with money lives in Atlanta. So if so, it's Buckhead and other places. If you live in Atlanta, you know it. Um, so he and his wife have to deal with his work schedule, which is chaotic, and also him because he got a girlfriend that works for him at work. Okay, he got so bad. So Alfonso is the movie opens up with a murder that he's investigating. And it was a person of interest, that's what they call you when they think you're a suspect, was murdered in front of a hotel in Buckhead. So, of course, Buckhead is like moneyed. So he went there, him and his supervisor, his commanding officer, and which is a female, and they interviewed her because she is an author with a huge following, like over 1 million people follow her on Twitter. So they go there, and here's this woman that he was interviewing for murdering somebody else, and now she's dead. So we go through that, and he's got to meet her people, and it's intense and it's different, and he's different. Alfonso's different. I love it. All right, my next book that I'm working on right now is Dangerous Opponent. These are comic attractions for you guys, okay? Uh, they, nah, yeah, her father is very wealthy, okay? She grew up privileged, but not with her father. Grew up with her stepfather and mother, and she has a sister and a brother. Okay, they grew up in Cleveland, in the suburbs, outside of Cleveland. Okay, and now when you meet her, is married, and she's got 4 kids, and she's got another brother now, so it's 4 of them. And her parents are now married. They were not married when she was growing up, but they're now married. Without giving away the whole story, but they are married. And she's in the process of being divorced by her husband. Okay. One person asked me, and I did it. So this character does have mental illness, but it doesn't affect her work, and she can take care of her kids, so she's a good mother. But you see her evolve and the family. This family is chaotic, more chaotic than any family I've ever wrote about. Okay, it's always something going on in this family. So if you like chaos, and this is a murder mystery, so just so you know, uh, you're gonna see it because she is different. She does a lot of stuff. She says a lot of stuff, and she's funny. Her sister Beverly is short and fiery. Okay, I love her. She is so on top of everything. Beverly is also she has drug abuse problems, but she has went to rehab and got herself together, and she has 4 children. And then she has a brother, Jordan, and him and his wife have 3 kids. He's married to his wife, Vicky, and they have 3 kids. They have a younger brother, Xavier, and he's 10. So we are looking at her as she begins to transition from being a married woman to a not married woman, and what happened next. Uh, Unbroken is one of my other books that's coming up, and it deals with another woman that's getting divorced, and she's angry. They were married 22 years. She can't understand why he waits till their daughter has their first grandchild and why he wants to get a divorce. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to decide. I had a book cover, which I probably put up and let you guys read. I think it's a little too much. So I'm looking at something else for Unbroken. That one probably will come out first, okay, because it's easier for that one. The characters aren't as chaotic as the other one. My next one that I'm working on is, as you see, I'm busy, is Perfect Wife, which I've been working on for a while. So have been working on Dangerous Opponents. Both of those have been in the channel for a while. But I wanted to say that with Perfect Wife, that you get to meet Rita Mae, and she marries Perry. This is in the 1960s. She was a single mother, and she marries the richest man in town. Okay, but this book is not just one book; it's 4 books. So you're gonna see Rita Mae go through 4 books and watch her marriage and her children grow. So it's gonna be a little different for me, and it's fiction based on fact. Okay. Uh, Also, I got a Patreon page where we can meet if you want to be one of my uh, members and know what's coming next. You will get it first on Patreon. Okay. So hit me up on Facebook, or you can send me an email and I'll send you the link. Okay. Uh, and I'm at Lady Ryder, LADYWRITER 314 at gmail.com. Okay. And that's about it. I got more, but that's enough, I think, to keep you wondering. That's why you haven't seen me on that, and I'm putting it in on my page on Facebook. Okay, on Meet Stephanie White. So that's where you're gonna see it. Okay, and you can come on here too and listen. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the little button like that, and like it. It's free. Okay. So I want you to like that, and I also want you to join me on Patreon. Okay, because I think you're gonna like. I got a lot of stuff going there, a lot of things we can do that I'm not gonna do on Facebook, but I will do with my people. And Cheryl, you know you first, so hey, I'm sending you an invitation before anybody else. All right, because that's my number one book reader. All right, love you guys. Check my books out on Amazon. I got Vengeance, Jen's Heart, um, Buried Secrets, and It's Complicated. They're all there on Amazon. Okay, have a good day and see you soon.